Hello, and welcome to Dymin in the Rough with Lance Lynn sometimes. Lance is here.
I made it back home.
I know it's been like 3 weeks. You haven't been here in a really long time.
You kicked me out.
I feel like we haven't really talked a lot in 3 weeks either.
That's not true. But
Yeah. We've kind of had a chaotic few weeks in life.
yeah, it has been a little hectic, but holiday time and
It's not even the holidays yet. We haven't even reached
Thanksgiving. But yeah.
the most chaotic time. It's just the build up.
Yes.
You want to talk about it a little bit?
Which part? The build up?
All right. The last time you were here was literally 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
In that time, I interviewed Danny. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And Kathleen.
Yeah.
Yep. Both people you know and love and adore.
You brought your 2 wild cards in.
I did.
Okay.
Do you want to talk about it?
Sure. We'll start with Danny.
Yes. Yes, actually, because Danny did say some things out of context that I would like you to clarify so that people don't hate us.
Okay.
Yes.
What do I need to rephrase for Danny? Because he needs that
He
every
was
once in a while.
talking about his life, his childhood, his upbringing, his
Craziness.
his sports and how his sports kind of saved him, put him in a different direction, helped him break generational cycles in his life.
Yep.
All of that thing. And he just casually threw out there that you can relate to having a dysfunctional family. And I feel like that's not fair to say.
Right.
And you need to clarify some of those things. And I don't think you have shared your upbringing, backstory really ever.
No, I never have. I don't think the word dysfunctional was probably.
And he didn't say that to be.
No, he didn't at all. I think he just says
offensive.
I think it was more of the cards you're dealt and being able to use athletics and use the things that he was able to use to.
Yeah.
Like he was the first person to go to college or even graduate high school. In my immediate family, I was the first person to get a scholarship and go to college too. So there's a lot of similarities. You know, I came from a split household. So I that dynamic growing up. There was at times when I was growing up, I lived with my grandmother because my dad was a truck driver. So I had to, that was where
there was some bouncing around.
There's some bouncing around and, but I was always in the same area. I didn't bounce around states like he had to and stuff like that. So I had a good group of, like my grandma was amazing. I had a good group of people, a good group of friends around me that their parents made sure that I got to tournaments. And, when everything's happened, a lot of my family stepped up outside of my dad, my grandma, my aunt, my uncle. It was definitely a lot of different people getting me to where I needed to be and making sure I stayed on task because I was a little bit of a do what I wanted to do type growing up.
You don't say.
So there's where he, sees some of the similarities of life. I would say without, baseball, without all that, I would have never went to college.
Yeah.
Who knows what I'd be doing right now or where I'd be at without it. So I think that's kind of, he sees that, hey, sports give you an avenue to succeed. And the question is, what are you going to do with them? And we were able to max that opportunity out by creating a different life for ourselves.
Do you feel like you broke generational cycles?
When you look at the luxury that I've had by being able to play for as long as I have, and obviously, you look at the money I was able to make because of baseball and stuff like that. Naturally, that's going to happen because of my grandfather was a truck driver and my dad was a truck driver. I broke that cycle. So yeah.
Do you think money buys happiness?
No, but it doesn't hurt it.
I want to mention something that you have mentioned publicly without a whole lot of context, but I still feel like it is a core part of your identity in a weird way. Do you know what I'm going to say?
I think so.
You notoriously call yourself like a trailer park kid, and I still feel like in your adulthood have problems shedding that identity, even though that's not who you are anymore.
Yeah.
You've been further away from the trailer park.
It's getting there. It's getting further and further every year. Yeah, I mean, I spent my first 12 years in the old single wide trailer. Which, you know, it's kind of crazy. You look at it, like people that helped out. There's a lot of people that made sure I, you know, got on the buses and went to school and stuff like that growing up. So, but I think it's one of those things where I think you noticed it in Danny's podcast, the things that you tell yourself to create a narrative to keep pushing and not wanting to, you know, you got to always have an edge, I guess, especially in sports. It's you versus the team, your team versus that team. You've like baseball.
Like you made it personal.
Who's that?
Danny.
Everybody makes it personal.
So you make it personal too.
Yeah, you got to. Like that's the only way to do it. And then afterwards, like they're making it personal too. They want to beat you.
Yeah.
Like
I hear what you're saying.
Like so, I think it's one of those things where there's like I think for me, the things that I saw growing up and the things that like especially early on in my life, the things that I wasn't able to have because we couldn't afford them, some living things at times and stuff like that. You know, I was never homeless or anything like that. I was always had what I needed, but it was like I was the kid with holy jeans or like I had hand-me-down stuff. There's a lot of those things where
there were times your family struggled.
Yeah, and then it's just like it was like we were, it's paycheck to paycheck and stuff like that. So I think that's my like motivation, or that's kind of like the things that I joke that the trailer park kid, but I did spend majority of my childhood in a trailer park, and it's like, hey, those are the things that it's like I use the things that from my past to make sure that I don't give up on the dreams that I had then, because I'm living that. So it's like, hey, finish it out. Like, don't get too comfy in your big nice house. Like, remember this. So it's like little things to keep you going so you don't get soft in your old age.
Oh my God. Yeah, no, I deal with it regularly. So that's why I'm mentioning it, because it still feels like a really big part of you. And to me, I'm like, boy, you've been out of the trailer park longer than you were in it.
Yep.
And so it's a big piece of you.
I think, like you said, it's just one of those things that it fuels the fire of like, I got lucky to have the gift that I have, and I've been able to make a long career out of it. But don't forget where you came from, and don't forget what was able to push you along the way to get where you're at, type thing. Yeah.
I will say with Danny, he didn't say this there was actually a lot he didn't say in that interview. I know that you don't really believe that, but like, he gets going. He's got a lot of stories, and a lot of them are really, really terrible. Like, he's really, really been through a lot of really terrible things. And when you said edge, his edge was the comparison between, you think I'm nothing, you think, and your daddy buys you everything. Well, I'm going to show you exactly what you know what I mean? So,
I do.
Relatable.
I'm very relatable. As part of like sports though, it's like you got the kid that has the brand new shoes on every time, or gets the new cleats, new bat, new glove in my world. And then it's like, oh, that's cute. I got 3 years ago's model and I still whooped your ass. Yeah. Have fun. and the fucking
You have
student
like a
council.
sparkle in your eye
have fun in
as you're
student
telling
council in
that
high
story.
school.
Can we get a zoom in on his eyeballs? Or like, yeah,
Yep.
you're thinking of someone in particular right now. I
A
feel.
couple.
Oh my gosh. Well, I'm glad we got to clarify that because Danny does a lot of talking and not a lot of speaking, and he does be out here offending people sometimes, and we have to explain his actions sometimes, his words sometimes.
I had a lot more family and help than he did, for dang sure. They made sure I had every possible thing that they could possibly give me.
Yeah.
It was not, but he had a lot different, but like the same thing as we've had some similarities in things that we were able to, go through family wise and all that to get to where we were.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks for clarifying.
Mm-hmm. What's next?
How'd you feel talking about that? Did it make you uncomfortable to talk about your feelings?
That's pretty easy.
Wow.
That one was.
That one was?
Yeah.
All right. Well, next I want to talk about Kathleen. Because I said some stupid shit in that episode. They gave me alcohol.
That was your idea.
It was. Yeah. Actually.
Wow. I've never seen you two together without a glass in your hand, so I'm not surprised by any of it.
That is valid. That is true. The internet.
They love it or hate
I say the internet. There's like 2 men out in the world that unfollowed me because I said that if sexuality were a choice, that we wouldn't be choosing men.
You did say that, yes.
Do you think that if sexuality were a choice, that we'd be choosing men?
I don't know. That's not a...
Do you feel like you'd be choosing women? Is this getting weird?
It's getting real weird.
Okay. Well, I think that was one of the comments. He was like, we wouldn't choose you either. And I was like, oh, so you would choose a man? And then it got weird from there. And he was like, unfollow.
I'm unfollowing that.
I'm like, okay. Have fun with that.
Yeah, it's an interesting thought. I haven't really thought about it.
Oh, okay. Well, do you know why I would say that?
Well, yeah, like you guys are, look at your podcast that you guys do, like you guys, the back and forth and all that,
I mean, do you know why I would say that I wouldn't choose a man in my life?
No, why?
You don't know why? I'm not saying it's your fault. I'm just saying, like, I have a history of being disappointed by men. Duh. I feel like that's very obvious.
Oh, well, yeah.
Is it not obvious I have issues?
Oh.
We're not going
to go there.
No, we're not going to go there. But that was one of the things that me and Kathleen talked about. We also talked about, I almost said his name, that one time in LA.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's an interesting situation.
How did you feel about that situation? Because I feel like at the time you were like, yeah, why not?
Yeah. 2 single people.
Mm-hmm.
It was kind of a in a weird way, it could have been a thing. So
I thought they would have been beautiful together. They're both very smart, witty people.
She's way too much for him. He wouldn't have been able to just listen. He's more of a homebody.
She is not too much. No one is ever too much.
Not like
that's like saying I'm too much for you.
Not like too much, as in like it's just like the things that they, knowing them both, the things that they do, free time and stuff like that are opposite. Is what I meant.
Like she's very extroverted.
Yeah, not too much as in it's just like the lifestyles, the things they like, their activities, their things that they enjoy doing are not the same. Yeah,
I guess you're right. It was good in theory. Does it make you mad that I tried sometimes to hook up my friends with baseball players? Is it awkward?
I don't think it's like
it's not like a personality trait of mine, but there have been times where I'm like,
I think you see people that like, oh, you guys could like have fun together. But it's not like you like outwardly look for people for certain people. It's just like, hey, this kind of could work. There have been people who have messaged me and they're like, hey, my granddaughter thinks so-and-so is really cute. Can you hook them up? And I'm like, no, I don't do that. Yeah, that's a no-go. But most of any of the other things have been like, we've been out and they've met each other a few times and it's just like, type thing. Whatever happens, happens.
Whatever happens, happens.
Yeah, you've never been like, hey, I'm going to invite this person here for you to meet her.
No, I've never made it weird.
Or him.
Oh, no, I've definitely made it weird one time. I don't remember his name, though.
Okay, that's good.
With Courtney. Hi, Courtney. She listens to the podcast. She's about to have a baby tomorrow. I'm going to cry. If I think about it too hard, I'll cry.
That is crazy.
Isn't it?
Courtney's going to be a mom.
I know. I could cry about it. I really could. I think that's awesome. Okay, sorry. Anyways, I probably shouldn't have said that because now she's in a very happy relationship and no one needs to know about
this would be like way before we were married. People.
Was it?
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know. I feel like we're rambling and we're not making sense right now. So we're just gonna back it up because I did mention that the last few weeks have been rather chaotic. And I'm wearing my cowboy hat today because it all started when we went to the CMA Awards.
She's got a thing now. She thinks she's cowgirl with cowboy hats. So I think we get a new one every week now.
That is not true. I've had these. I've just not had the confidence to wear them. And now, why not?
Well, you saw some people that were wearing some interesting cowboy hats at the...
I have like a horse now. I feel like I'm allowed to do it now. I'm not faking it. I'm not cosplaying.
Gotcha.
A cowgirl. I am one. A little bit. I got chickens.
Sounds good.
Goats and a horse. They don't need to know he's small. You know?
Yep. It's not the size that matters.
Okay. Anyways, so we went to the CMA Awards. And I loved every second of it. It's a very chill vibe. It is not like a concert vibe. You have people yelling at you to like sit down and shut up. And because it's on TV, it's like being live filmed.
Get ready to cheer. We're coming on in 5, 4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And everybody was really great. And I had a really good time. I do not feel like you had the best time.
You always feel like that on my concert and stuff. I'm not a big
He's not a concert person.
Sing like whatever. I'm here. I'm gonna drink beer and watch the show, and then see you later.
I can't be stopped. I know every word to every song. I'm hyped to be there. I was just hyped to be in the same room with all those people.
Yeah. There were some. Yeah, they were. I mean, they did a really
Carrie
good
Underwood,
job.
Miranda Lambert, George Strait was there. Lainey Wilson. Who else was there?
Like for me, it was like the coolest person was Peyton Manning. He can't sing, so
that's true.
I don't know if he can't sing.
Forgot about him.
He does everything now.
Jelly Roll, killed it. Amazing, phenomenal. Posty.
Posty, huh?
I live for a country Post Malone. I think he's better country than anything else. And they love him.
Yeah.
They did not like Beyonce at all. Not even a little bit.
Well, I think you look at, obviously there's going to be some, we'll call it hazing in any aspect of like when, I think it's because, when people change genres and stuff, I guess. Here's my thought. I think that the way he went about it is what people respected. He
came in wanting to collaborate with everybody.
All the new and old, like he did it. I think in their mind, that he did it right.
Yeah. He was just happy to be there geeking out, wanting to collaborate with people. And they were like, hell yeah. Like you have mad respect for country music. I think Beyonce was like, y'all didn't treat me right last time I was here. So I'm going to make a country album and y'all are going to suck it. And I'm going to sweep the awards like I do everywhere else. And they were like, no, get down with that. Yeah. And then she changed the lyrics to Jolene. I think people were mad about that, even though it slapped. I was a big fan of Jolene. Did you listen?
Her new one?
Yes.
The Jolene one? I don't think so.
With Beyonce?
It
was good. Maybe. I liked it. It was aggressive.
I will say this, like even on like country music stations, they don't play her stuff.
No, they did that. This ain't
that one got some play, and then it was just like,
and that one was the worst one.
I think that's might have been why they did it. Been like, nice try. We don't like this one. We're gonna play it a lot, so everyone hates your album.
I mean, that's possible.
What do you think?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay.
that my guess is the way that the two went about it.
Yeah. Very different.
I mean, he had the collabs that he had post.
Yeah, he just wants to like shoot the shit with them and drink beer and like.
Yeah, it's like, hey, let's
you
sing
aren't
some
gonna get
songs
access
together.
to Beyonce in that way. I don't think.
No.
She's not gonna drink whiskey with the good old boys club.
You never know.
I think I know. Okay, so then we went from the CMAs and your grandmother fell ill.
She did.
So we had to go to Indiana.
Head to Indiana to, well, pretty much say our goodbyes.
Yes.
So that kind of, say came out of nowhere, but you know, it had been building up for a couple years.
Yeah.
So, we were able to get there in time and all that, with my mom, my uncle, and all my, my brother and my cousins, and everybody was able to, tell her goodbye and all that. So, that was a different 24 hours from the one before. Right.
Yeah.
So, obviously it's life and it sucks, but we were able to be there. We were all able to be together and trying to make the best of it.
Yep.
So, yeah. So that's a crazy 24 hours, 48 hour swing.
Yes. And it didn't end there because we came home and we are trying to get ready for Thanksgiving. You had to pick up Mia. You had to go back to Nashville, 2 days later?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, for her to fly in.
And pick up Mia from the airport, come back, and then our dog tries to attack our child. So let's talk about that because...
I wasn't in the room for this. I did see the...
No. Can I just say Lance is never in the room for anything?
He wouldn't do
You're
that.
You're not in the room for fires, for tornadoes, for animal deaths. I'm the man of this house. Okay. Okay. So we've had Savage for 3 years and I wanted a German Shepherd puppy so bad. So very badly. I was looking for weeks trying to find like these cute little puppies, whatever. We went all the way to Tennessee to get this puppy, right? And they told me he had like wobbly knees or something. Yeah, and they were like, do you still want him? Like the vet says he's got like a floating knee or something like that. And I was like, he needs love too. Yes, I still want him, whatever. He was the biggest shithead of a dog, okay? And we had sent him off to training for 6 weeks and we got a trainer here to work with him for a while too. Kept him for a while, didn't he?
Yeah, we had to go to spring training. So, and then when we got traded to LA, he watched him for us too.
Yes, because he's just he doesn't listen to save his life or a chicken's life for that matter. Like
he got a few chickens.
He got a few chickens. He got a few rabbits. Truthfully, he was our most complicated animal.
He was, but he was
out of all 20 of them. Okay. But we loved him very, very much.
He might have been my favorite.
I know. And when you weren't here, he would literally sleep in your spot in bed.
Yeah. He listened to me when I was here.
Yes. No.
Right,
No.
We had our moments.
Yes. And so as he's 3 now, but he's been suffering with like hip dysplasia for the last 6 months, I guess, that we've been aware of it. He came hobbling home one time and we thought he got hit by a car. Took him to the vet immediately. And they were like, no, he just has like arthritis really bad in his hip. Like, I don't know, does the hip like fall out of place? Something like crazy happened. He needed all this medicine. They wanted to give him surgery, clean out his hip and everything. He got better. It hasn't really been an issue, but if he does too much, it kind of like, I guess he's always going to be in pain.
Yeah, that's what
like it's always uncomfortable. It's like arthritis in your hip. So he's like, he always feels it and all that stuff. So he was getting more and more agitated with like the kids, specifically when he was.
Well, they would wrestle him and stuff like that. So
and he's been good all these 3 years. He's never, I say that, he's had a couple.
He snagged a few things out of their hands and got them back a little bit when they were younger, when they walk around with food. But.
Yes. But what was really weird was he was sitting on the couch next to me And Rumor just walked up to me. She wasn't being loud. She wasn't doing anything. We were on our phones, just like watching a Christmas movie. Judge was already asleep, thankfully. Had 2 teenagers on the couch who were so worthless in this situation. And Rumor just comes up to me and he starts growling at her. And then he starts to bark at her. So I hop up off the couch and like scoop her up. And as I'm scooping her, he's lunging at her. And I'm laying on top of her to make sure that he doesn't get her. And I can't move. You had just gotten in the shower. So I'm screaming, Lance, Lance, Lance. Lively, thankfully, gets scared and runs on top of the counter. She's screaming, crying because she's terrified, which I was thankful for because I couldn't have, if he decided to get mad at her, I couldn't have done anything. So that was like a smart move. And it was just I say it was traumatizing. Rumor was just like, ha ha, what happened? That was crazy. And she's like, savage. I'm like, girl, you about got eaten by our beloved dog. So it was very traumatizing.
Yeah. So he growled at her earlier too, right?
Yeah. He just kind of like a low, get away from me, you're annoying kind of thing. And I thought that was strange. So I was like, okay. But when I tell you, he just stood between me and Rumor, like he did not want Rumor to come to me.
Yeah.
So it was a very, very weird thing. He's never done anything like, and I was like, did you grab him? Did you what did you do to him? And she's like, no, I didn't even touch him. And then we looked at our security cameras and he was on the couch beside me and she was nowhere near him. And he was just like, get away from her. It was very, very strange. So I've said all that to say, because I'm really upset about it. This could also make me cry. I think I'm emotional today. I don't really know. And I know that like rehoming dogs is like a topic that is uncomfy because people think that's a lifelong commitment. And I'm like, I agree. Never do I have an intention of buying an animal and thinking, if I don't like it, I'll just get rid of it. That's not the plan.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Here's the truth of the matter is we have a place that, where he's at is he's going to be taken care of like he's never been taken care of in his life. And, and when it comes to your kids and all that, like for his sake, we couldn't.
And if he's uncomfortable and anxious around the kids, then that's not really a life for him either. And they are rough.
Friends and all that come over and we can't risk.
And he's only getting older and he's only going to feel his hips more. And you know what I mean? So it's just like the best decision.
He might as well be at a spa where he's at now.
Yeah, he's loved. I've been working with this man. He's been training him throughout the years and he was our dog sitter and all that stuff. And he spoils him rotten. So that was the situation. But that's not to say that I'm not really upset about it. And our house is really quiet without him because he was a very loud dog and always in people's stuff. So
he had heavy paws.
Heavy paws. But the dog hair that he will be in this house.
Long-haired shepherds
for 10 years, 10
are
more years.
not good for your accumulation of hair around the house.
No,
just
we could.
Wondering about getting.
We could make 47 German shepherds with all the hair that he shed over the year of living in this house. So
yeah, no, but he's in a good place, and then everybody's safe. So I don't think he would. But
we were traumatized. I was definitely traumatized because it was like, if I couldn't get to her, then that could have been really, really terrible. Or if that were Judge, it could have been even worse than that. Or if this happened and it was my grandparents and they couldn't like be as quick.
Yeah.
It became really terrifying, all the things that could have happened. And it was in the best interest of our kids and the dog.
Yeah, no, I think all in all, everybody's in a good place. So he's alive and happy and in a good spot. So.
Yes. So that was a part of the drama of that week within 2 days. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So then Thanksgiving happens.
Yeah.
And then we have to take Mia back.
Yep. Then we have to go to a funeral.
And then we go to a funeral.
And we're back.
And then we come back and all of our children are sick.
Mm-hmm. And I get in the car and leave.
And he goes on a hunting trip. Remember when I told you that Lance is never here for anything? My kids have double ear infections.
I was with you when we went and got solid off.
Okay, I'm sorry. You left when they start started projectile vomiting everywhere.
You had to get
it was
out of
just me.
You got to get this sickness out of you.
So yeah. So that happened. Tell us about your hunting trip.
That was great. We shot
in Nebraska.
We shot like 140 snow geese. We shot some duck.
There's our pigeons.
We didn't shoot any pigeons.
Please don't.
But yeah, I took your brother. I took 2 high school buddies, and we had it was a fun little, was it 3 days of hunting?
It's felt like longer. I think it was 4.
It was, well, I mean, the 7-hour drives make it that's a day of driving too. So 4-day trip-ish. We had a good time. We met some people from other states that were there at the lodge hunting. So it was, a grown up, bunkhouse to go shoot at birds in the sky. It was,
yeehaw.
There you go. There's some cowboy hats there. So yeah.
My people. You're really triggered by the hat. You want to talk about that?
I don't. I was just, you
Looks
said
good.
yeehaw. Let's go.
Thank you.
Saddle up.
Is 140 snow geese a ton of geese to kill?
Yeah, I
Do
would say
people
so.
eat geese?
There are people that eat geese.
Is it dark meat?
Yes.
Does it taste gamey?
Whatever I ate there.
You ate it?
Yeah.
And?
We had it for dinner.
Did you love it?
It wasn't bad.
Huh.
You would have hated it.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
I have the taste buds of an infant child. So.
Yeah. I've learned that if you marinate and brine stuff for long enough, you can make it edible.
I learned if you fry it.
And then
I need a fried
you do
turd.
that on top, and then it's good to go.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So you ate what you killed?
Yes.
And then you brought one home.
I brought one home. I got a nice all white snow goose.
Are they not all white?
There's some. Are
they gray?
The younger ones are a little grayish, is the way it was explained to me. I knew nothing about snow geese, except that there were so many in the sky, and I put so many shotgun shells in my shotgun.
Dang.
That's about it. That's all I know about snow geese. So,
Interesting.
for you bird lovers out there, I apologize, but I had a hell of a time.
All right, good deal. Okay, so while you're off doing that, I did take a little break, and I went to the Casey Musgraves concert, and it was fabulous. We stayed at the Graduate Hotel in Nashville, Tennessee.
Is that Dolly's one?
Yes, we went to the white limousine. Did that. Came home. Kids are still sick. They were like, the beginning of the week, we were like, oh no, everyone's got fevers and double ear infections, whatever. Got them medicine. Everyone's on the up. I leave for a day. I get back. Everybody's worse. Everyone is unwell. All 3 of them. Okay.
Even your grandparents got your grandparents.
Yeah, my
sick.
grandparents were sick in that time too. I wasn't able to film the podcast because Mama and Papa were sick.
Both kids woke up puking that morning.
Yeah. So it was just a messy deal, right? Guess who starts puking next?
You.
Me. Yeah.
I've been good.
He is the biggest symptom stealer that I've ever met. What did I do? I had a hernia surgery, okay, in last January. When I tell you, this man started walking around just like, man, my groin hurts too. That's crazy. That is not a lie. You do it all the time. I'll have a migraine. You're like, my head hurts too, Dymin.
My head hurts every day. Get up and walk around. Let's go.
You steal every symptom, and then, or I will, and I really don't get sick that often. And when I do get sick, I'm not really like down and out for very long. Like I got shit to do, I can pretty much tough through it. I haven't been like sick in a few years.
Yeah.
And you are the type of person that, like, if I need to lay down, you're like, I've been sick for days. I just haven't told you about it.
Yeah, let's go.
That's the biggest lie that's ever been told. You are such a girl. Cool. Remember that one time on our very first episode when they were like, what is your pet peeves about Lance? That's one of them. Your symptom stealing. Okay. So now get this. I have to have surgery tomorrow. How's your leg feeling?
It's been killing me for weeks. I get up and walk every day.
Oh my God. Hate you so much. So yeah, I have to have this just goes on to the trauma. Like, just drama constantly. I don't like, I feel like we haven't had a time like this in a hot minute where it's just like death, concert, illness, surgery, get rid of your dog. I'm not well right now, I don't think. I'm just pushing through. And then it's like, Merry Christmas.
Yep. Coming up quick.
I'm exhausted.
Well, you have to get up and get through it.
And then Christmas. We only have like after the holidays and you got like a month and then it's like, haha, spring training, move your whole life. Pray you get a good rental and no one pukes in that. Pray your pipes work.
Oh man. Hopefully the pipes don't burst and you're flooded out in the morning.
What a time.
I'm excited.
Why wouldn't you be?
Love Christmas.
Oh my God. Okay. Back to my surgeries, because I just dropped that I had like 2 surgeries. You know that, what's his name? Harrison Butker, the kicker for the Chiefs. Yeah. Remember how he pissed everybody off with he gave a speech to...
college people, right? College kids graduate?
Yeah, and he told all the girls, like, you won't start living your life until motherhood. Which, that's fine, whatever. If you feel that way, that's great. I'm going to tell you the reconstructive surgeries after motherhood is when your life really begins. Okay.
Yeah. Hernias and veins.
I had to get a hernia fixed. I have the biggest varicose vein down my whole leg. I have a Frankenstein leg. I got my hernia fixed. And for whatever reason, the top part of my thigh has been numb for the last year. They like cut a nerve or something like that. And I have not been able to feel the top of my thigh. Okay.
It's getting back.
And on top of that, I have a lime green vein that goes, this is gross. You probably don't even care about this, but I'm a chronic oversharer, so you're going to hear about it. A vein that goes all the way down to my big toe.
Yeah, when you're pregnant, your foot would get black and blue.
I look like the tree man, okay? Like gross. My leg was so gross. So I'm getting that fixed. And I think that is when my life will really begin. Nothing but short skirts around the house. I'm going to be such a hoe. It's going to be great.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Got me wearing jeans in the summertime. Not anymore. What else do I need fixed?
Is that why you're wearing jeans?
What the hell is that supposed to mean? Yeah, that's why I was wearing jeans.
I know. I remember hearing about it, like, I don't want to wear this, but I
like
have
the
to
wintertime, it's like
vein.
wear tights. Sucks you in and you can't see that I have a lime green leg. But
you can have like a week of where you're wearing like the compression, like old people socks.
I've had years of that.
Well, I remember when you're pregnant, but like we're bringing those back.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to wear that.
Cool. Might as well keep them for later in life.
Shut your face. So yeah. Anyways, that's what our lives have been like lately. So I don't know if anyone can relate to that. Is Mercury in retrograde? Do you know? Is Mercury in retrograde? I feel like it might be.
I don't think so. Then again, I wouldn't know.
Do you know what that means?
No.
It means that shit has gone awry. Shit is backwards.
Yeah. What was the
What
other
else
one?
did I? Oh, the drones in New Jersey.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a thing. It's really happening. Okay, so this is kind of funny. Like last night I woke up in the middle of the night to like a loud noise. And you know when you're like half asleep but I didn't sleep for shit last night, by the way. I almost wore sunglasses on this thing because it's like my eye bags are so bad because Lively kept having screaming fit nightmares over whatever. And literally right before I went to bed, I was Googling aliens because you watch Ancient Aliens on... He likes to watch the most boring, stupid things before he goes to bed so that he can fall asleep, right? So what was it? Ancient Aliens?
No, there's a new Netflix show about like aliens in the ocean. So it was my fault.
Okay, so I like ChatGPT because instead of Google, it gives you the most accurate thing immediately. So you don't have to like read this article and decipher which one, you know what I'm saying? It like takes the guessing out of it, I guess. And so it just responds to you like a person. And it's like, yeah, like they found blah, 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 blah in the ocean, whatever. So anyways, I was awoken in the middle of the night at like 3 a.m. by this loud noise. And it was like, oh, wow.
They're coming to get you.
And in my brain, like my half asleep brain, I was like,
they're here.
They know.
They do exist.
I was so freaked out. My heart is beating. I've got both girls on either arm. I don't know where my phone's at. I'm like, this is it for me. Like, I don't know what.
What were we going to do? Ask your app if it was them?
I thought about it. But no, I was really afraid.
Is it them? Are they here for me?
Yeah. But yeah, no, there's huge drones in New Jersey that nobody knows anything about.
Supposedly there's underwater civilizations
that checks out though.
Yeah. It's just the way that they're finally telling us that like Aquaman's real. He does exist.
I mean, why wouldn't it?
Yeah. What's the Atlantis? Atlantis are just aliens.
You watch all that stuff on that too.
I know, I love it.
I don't think you can really like count anything out anymore.
And my conspiracy theory is the government owns Hollywood, and then Hollywood they just use movies and television to tell us what's out there. So when it does finally come out, they'll be like, we told you years ago in that movie. Do you remember? Remember Independence Day? Fuckers are mean.
I mean, I don't really disagree. I will say life is becoming more movie-like as it goes on for us because, gosh, we're talking about weird shit today, but that CEO that got
I don't
murdered,
really know what's up with that. What's going on?
The fact that they just like straight up put that on the news and it like I got to watch a man be actually murdered and it's like, oh, you didn't watch it?
No, I don't.
And everyone's like, man, this guy's a professional and all that stuff. And it's like it doesn't faze anybody because we just watch that stuff in movies.
Was a professional? The person who killed him was a professional?
No, it wasn't
hitman?
a professional person. It was some handsome valedictorian. I don't know. The math ain't mathing on that one for me.
He's just getting blamed for it because a hitman got him?
No, he left like a backpack of Monopoly money and his whole, like a manifesto of why he did it.
That pretty much tells on yourself.
I mean, yeah, it was almost like he wanted to get caught, which everyone's like, And there were some typos and they're like, you're the valedictorian.
What a perfect time.
You're the valedictorian and you don't know yours.
You're right like me.
Yeah.
Yours, and yours.
Yeah.
Fuck all three of them.
I don't think there are three.
I know. You, yours, and yours. Yeah. They're not?
It's theirs. There's three theirs.
They're theirs. Yeah, those ones get me too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Anyways, moving right along. What were you talking about before that? Oh, the ocean.
Couldn't tell you.
So yeah, I don't know. I was just about to say, like, I don't think I'd be scared. I was scared this morning, 3 a.m., thinking that there was definitely an alien. Which, by the way, I still don't know what caused that noise.
What did it sound like?
I just told you. Wow, wow, wow. Like something, like, like, imagine a little flying saucer and, like, the beams would go, wow, wow. That's in my brain. That's exactly what that was.
Sounds
over
like
our house.
Sounds like our ice machine.
Yeah, I mean, that definitely could have been it.
You're just hearing shit.
It woke me up like I was startled awake. And I was like...
The cat could have been outside the window meowing. You don't even know.
It was definitely large aircraft hovering. I don't know. It was weird.
Well, maybe they were ripping up all the coyotes you heard.
But speaking of like Atlantis, I know I'm bouncing around a little bit. What the hell was that? Did you hear that? That was a loud boom.
There we go.
Lance, bitch, I'm talking about aliens and then shit is happening.
They're letting you know they're here. They're just saying hello. It's like ghosts. Say, hey, you do your thing, I'm going to do my thing, everybody's fine. Same thing with aliens. They walk among us. You can't tell me they don't.
That was a loud boom. That was loud, right? Right. Are we not a little bit concerned by what that was?
We live in the country. Somebody could have shot a cannon, for God's sake, out here.
That's actually accurate. Okay. Anyways, I just think it's weird every time I think about it. Like, I hear a weird noise and it's like they can hear me or something.
You're just noticing
I was about to talk about mermaids, though.
Every day.
Huh? Oh, I was just thinking of a time that I told a person who thought I was stupid. What? What? Shorzy?
Yeah.
I about punched you right then.
Yeah.
No, there's a man that you and I both know, and he thinks I'm a little bit of a dumbass. And there was a point in time where I was like, I believe in mermaids. And I just saw like his eyes just want to roll in the back of his head. Like, I'm sure you do. Mm-hmm. But now.
Who's the guy we met in DC that said that mermaids were real? Remember that guy?
Oh, this is a story. This is a story. I have
An
two
oracle?
stories going to surgeries and just weird shit. Okay.
Was he an oracle? Is that what he called himself?
We had a waiter in DC who thought I was a prostitute. Remember that? Everyone thought I was a hooker. Mm-hmm. Apparently, I don't know if that's a common thing there. I'd never been to DC. That was one of the places that I needed to knock off my list. And listen, your girl likes to dress. We already know that, right? I had on a cute little corset top with trousers.
The problem is I was at the game, so I was meeting you there, and you were there at the bar by yourself before I got there. So
these people, I was getting looks, and no one was being kind. And they were like, and I'll post the outfit because I have worn more scandalous things in my life. Like, this was not a scandalous thing. Okay. I just tried hard that day. I don't know how to tell you. So anyways, people are like talking to each other about who has to go up and talk to me. Remember, I was like, oh my God, I was texting you. I was like, these people think I'm a prostitute and I need to leave.
They thought you were some famous person. They got nervous.
Yeah. No, that wasn't it. No, it wasn't. So I'm immediately uncomfortable and I'm like, oh my God, self-conscious about what I'm wearing. We get sat away from everybody else in this restaurant.
Yeah, we were in
They put us in a corner behind a wall. Okay. And the guy is like, how old do you think he was? He was like he was an older gentleman, like 60s.
Late 60s, probably.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. And like, he started off kind of friendly and then it got progressively weirder. And then he started talking about how he is an oracle, which I don't even know what an oracle is. And he had a really thick accent as well. So it was kind of hard to really decipher what he was talking about. But he was talking about how he had been abducted by aliens and he was on a boat from...
He was a captain of a boat or something like that.
Something like that. So he had experience. This checks out now that I know what I know about aliens in the ocean, though, because he said he was on a boat and he had an alien encounter on a boat.
There you go.
Wow. So anyways.
Truth teller.
He's going on and on and on, and he's written books, and he's like, you'll have to read my book. It's on Amazon, and he tells all about this stuff. And now he can like predict the future, and he goes, grab my hand and you'll be an oracle too. So in my brain, I'm like, at this point, why not? So I touch old man, give me your hand. I'm like, yeah, I'm an oracle too. He's like, yeah, good luck to you. I'm like, okay, that's fine. Great. Whatever.
I didn't touch his hand.
Nothing great has really happened to me since then. I can't.
They're coming now. You're finally like buying into it.
They can like read my energy and they know like I'm one of them, I guess. Yeah. And that's why anyways, back another story prior to this, my hernia surgery. Remember that?
Yeah.
I wake up. Lance is like, they're like, we'll get her ready. We'll wheel her down. You go get the car. Okay. So I am on drugs. I'm coming off of anesthesia, right? I don't know shit about fuck. Okay. I'm like, okay. And this man, I believe his name was Jeff, if I remember correctly, which is kind of crazy that I remember anything. I remember getting in the car. I'm like, did that just happen to me? He's wheeling me into the elevator and we're the only people in this elevator. And this man is telling me, hey, I just want you to know that like aliens exist and the government knows way more than they're letting us believe. And I literally look at him and I said, are you really saying this to me right now? Or is this the drugs that I'm on? And he's like, no, I'm being so serious. Like, there's a lot more going on in our world that nobody knows about and will never know about. And I'm like, I believe you, Jeff. I'm not here to, like, I get it. You're damn right they are. And I get in the car and I'm like, Lance, didn't I tell you that?
Yeah.
So like, this was like a back-to-back kind of encounter for me. And I'm like, why are these people seeking me out to have these alien conversations with me?
I don't think you're a believer. I think that's it. Like they can sense it.
Or is Jeff just screwing with people that are on drugs?
It's a classic fucking move too. I like it. That's
oh
funny.
My God. I have videos because, you know, chronic oversharer over here. I literally went back to the hotel room and I videoed exactly what that man said to me from the restaurant. And then as soon as I came to, I took a video of me being like, this guy named Jeff, he said this to me. So like I have proof like on the days that this happened to me. But then people were like, hey, why does this keep happening to you? And I'm like, I really don't know.
You know, maybe it was a way they knew that you were going to have a podcast to talk about it and get it out. You never know.
So many just weird encounters with people, which brings me to another one. Today, I'm going to bring it up. Who cares? She was ballsy, so she needs a shout out. I got a message from a person that I don't know. And I really don't know if she listens to the podcast or not. Her name is Taylor Nobles. And she said, hi, I love your content. Hear me out. I'm young, I'm fun, and I'm single. What are the odds that you set me up with someone on the podcast? I'm a little bit country, a lot of bit wild child. I know it's a bit random, but the answer is always no until you ask. Anywho, I'm in Texas, but we'll be moving to Jackson Hole at the first of the year. Let me know if you're willing to scheme with me.
Sounds like she's into, no.
Danny, 100.
Maybe.
Well, I responded. And I said, I don't quite understand what you mean. I said, you want me to set you up with the person to date? I do the podcast with my husband and other married couples and my like grandpa, who was also married. So I just...
I don't think she watches. I think she's just trying to get on a podcast.
That's kind of what it sounded like. I mean, I commend people who are brave enough to shoot their shot. What do you think about that?
It was an interesting one. For sure.
Mm-hmm. How does it feel to not have social media?
It's really nice.
Is it?
Yeah.
He has no idea who I am and like on social media.
No, I like friends being like, hey, I saw your wife's post. I'm like, that makes one of us.
Does that make you uncomfortable?
No.
It doesn't?
No.
I have a whole online persona.
I know.
Mm-hmm.
It's a cowboy hat on there too.
It is.
There we go.
My last 4 post, actually.
It's almost like I live it.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Yeah. But yeah, no, that's probably for the best that you don't have social media.
I have like a whole like professional persona of yelling at people and stuff like that too. So.
Mm-hmm. Who would you be if you did have like an Instagram? What would you post?
That's the thing is I have like, I'm not a person like, man.
Are you going to post like pitching photos?
I find that to be kind of.
You can't say that.
I know, but I didn't say anything.
Are you a family guy?
I think
I would. Your family?
I think I would probably do like
post
funny shit that kids do.
Women Crush Wednesday, and it better be me.
I don't even know what that means. Is that a thing?
It was like a while ago. We should bring it back.
Okay. Well, you should start doing that on Wednesday.
Man Crush Monday.
Okay. Bring it back then.
It's Wednesday.
There you go. Post it.
I don't really have a woman crush right now.
And then maybe like, I would do hunting stuff probably. Like then I'd offend people.
That would offend people?
I don't know. Animal lovers. You know, I don't know. That's the thing. I've never like said, oh man, I should post that. Like it's never.
So when we first started dating, you did have it, and you were like, you were very posty.
Yeah, and I was like,
you're like happy opening day. And knowing you now, I'm like,
it was it was like trying to like that was so the world because you look at obviously athletes and all that. That's a way to
meet women.
no, it was more like build your brand. And at that point of life, you look at a lot of people that started, like they built, a lot of guys do more on that than they do anywhere else now.
Well,
like posting their brands and stuff like that.
I mean,
that's
it's a whole new revenue.
Yeah, like when I came in, brands and stuff didn't exist. Like they were always through
like ads online and all that.
Yeah,
stuff.
they were always through like whatever company endorsed you, do like a commercial if you were big enough. But other than that, like you didn't have anything. So that was like the start of it.
Some brands pay you to wear their stuff, like Wilson and New Balance.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's like that's on the field stuff. And I think that like, so when I first started doing it, like a lot of those things were like, hey, if you have social media, this and this, I probably cost myself money by not having social media. But like, I wasn't like, it wasn't for me to like, in my opinion, it wasn't for me to like, I don't know.
It's not in your personality.
Yeah.
To share.
It's kind of
to take selfies.
Yeah, it's kind of like it just didn't fit.
You're a little bit of a selfie guy.
Huge selfie guy.
Yeah.
So maybe I miss my calling.
I have screenshots of your Snapchats that you used to send me. He used to wear like the blue bear ears and was like, swear to God. Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
The ripe old age of 30.
Hate it.
You hate it?
Hate it.
You didn't hate it. One might say you thrived on Snapchat there at one point in time.
Oh, jeez.
Anyways. So, yeah. I don't know. Maybe you should bring it back for your
post-playing days.
Yeah.
Well, we'll cross that bridge when I'm done.
Do you care to discuss how that's going?
It's moving right along. At this very moment, we're in the winter meetings, so a lot of people are signing
as we speak.
It's happened.
Mm-hmm.
So there's some meetings and stuff going on. So we'll see what the next week or so looks like. I think kind of give me a good idea of what will be available.
Mm-hmm.
Some teams interested, a different variety of teams too.
Have you already denied a couple teams?
I've not turned.
You haven't gotten like an official thing, but you were like.
I think there's some teams, you get to a point in your career where you have ideas of where you want to play, what you're trying to accomplish and stuff like that. For me, obviously being back in St. Louis, being able to be close to home was amazing last year. That's always a great. It
was amazing. 10 out of 10.
Thing. And I mean, they haven't made a move this offseason. So I think that this is where a lot of discussions and stuff happen this week. The winter meetings are kind of crazy, whether it's trades, free agent, like all kinds of stuff. So I think over the course of the next 2 weeks to Christmas, you get a really good idea of, and be honest, it happened before that, but you'll know exactly what's out there and what, I say exactly, but you'll have a good idea what's out there, what direction each team's going. And then you can kind of make a choice if that fits what you're trying to do. For me, I'm 37 going on 38. I want to win, but I'm also like, I'm not done either. So it's like, we'll see what is there.
Yeah.
And then there's obviously there's certain places that are not built to win right now. Mm-hmm. But they see me as a person that could help them with their young players and pitchers. So it's like, am I going to be the old tutor, I guess is the easy way to say it. The guy that's helping.
How do you feel about that role?
I'm
feels like you've graduated.
From that role?
No.
Graduated into that role?
Yes.
Yeah, that's
Is that a weird?
They age you into shit. It's bullshit.
Yeah. I was going to say that you kind of.
Is that ageism? Is that a thing?
I just think it's like a natural progression of anything.
Here's what baseball does. They age you into it so they can pay you less. Like that's their way of trying to do it. And I'm like, no, I'm not ready to get the old man discount.
Do you ever be a closer?
That'd be fun. I would enjoy that. If I wanted to play till I was 42, I think I would.
In my brain, like you're a person who like gets better as you keep going. You know what I mean?
In the game and stuff?
In the game, like.
Yeah, so they're two totally different mindsets. So knowing what I have to accomplish as a starter, you have to kind of navigate your way through the game.
Yeah.
Like that's the thing. Nowadays, some of these young kids.
Yeah, because you have time to adjust and like read the room and.
Right. So the young
blah,
kids
blah.
nowadays are taught to just go. And that's why, innings and stuff are not as, they don't throw as many and stuff like that, which MLB is trying to change rules to bring that back. Mm-hmm. So it's like, man, I wish I was kind of younger. So these new rules and stuff, they'd make me more valuable when I was in
It's been a wild ride.
So that's a back and forth of it. I think
it's been different.
I think closing would be fun in the sense of, that, hey, we got the lead. I'm going to get 3 outs as fast as I can with everything I got.
Yeah.
Like that's it. The mindsets are totally different.
Yeah.
Where like you get into a game, you're warming up. You're like, okay, hey, we got 100 pitches.
I always loved Aroldis Chapman and all his flames.
Yeah. And that guy's, I don't even know how old he is.
Where did he go? He just got signed.
I think Boston.
I think you're right.
Yeah. So it's like, the hard part now is I've not been a reliever in so long that like it'd be hard for a contending team to be like, hey, we want you to do this unknown thing.
The last time you were a reliever was New York, right?
Yeah, I went to the bullpen there, but it was like
they kind of set you up for failure in that one.
In the playoffs. They put me in a weird spot in the playoffs.
I know. They brought you in a weird time, and it was kind of like
It was like bases loaded, 1 out, and like the first time I've been out of the bullpen in years. So it was a tough spot. Yeah. And I failed, but I shouldn't have. I mean, so he put me in all honesty, it was a spot I should have succeeded. It just didn't work out.
Sorry to bring that up.
No, but like as a closer, you're most likely coming in
with the mindset of like
clean inning, this and that. Relievers have the toughest time when you come in with other people's base runners on and stuff. Yeah. That's probably the worst one. If you get a clean inning and it's your inning and go I would say more times than not you have success. But when it comes to other people's runs, some relievers are really good at stranding guys. I don't
like all those rules
of whose runs they are and stuff like that. Or
yes,
wins,
because
losses,
there are times when you would come out and you were fine, and then someone else would come in and blow it for you. Like
blow the win and then they get the win type thing, or give up your runs. And then you get hey, how'd you do today? Well, I gave up 3 runs. Or they would come in. But they're all in the last inning.
You would go out, they would come in, they would give up some home runs, and that would be under you.
Well, if any runner that's on base is your fault. Oh. Which I agree with. So the question, if you leave the game, and it's not...
You're people on base, but if someone gives up a grand slam...
The only thing they don't get, or the only thing they get counted for is the hitter that hits a home run. Oh. And you get counted for the rest.
Right. Well, I can't think of a specific instance at this moment, but I know what I'm trying to say.
If you don't like it, don't leave him on base before you leave.
Okay. Well.
So, but I think you're more talking about hey, you threw 6 innings of whatever. You came out, we're winning 2-0, 2-1. Reliever comes in, gives up the lead, then we win it later. You don't get the win. I think that's you're hey, you guys won the game. You should get the win. No, that reliever that gave up the 2 runs got the win because then we came back and you're that's stupid. Yeah. Which in the grand scheme of things,
it twists my lobes.
It is a little different.
Yeah.
But it's whoever was on the mound or the pitcher of the active pitcher when your team goes ahead gets the win. It's been like that since it was invented, I think.
Interesting. Yeah, I don't really follow the rules of baseball very
that
well. I'm there for the beer and the nachos and the free childcare.
And then you have to throw at least 5 innings to be able to get the win.
Okay. Well. So yeah, shoot your shot as a what was it? Closer.
A closer.
Putting that out in the universe.
Me being a closer?
I think it'd be hot. Be spicy.
That's a long ass run in.
I'd get there 7th inning.
I will say I've seen some closers acts over the years, like when they show up and what they do. It kind of fits my personality.
Oh, I thought you were gonna go in a negative way, and I was like, gonna make me edit this out.
No, it fits my personality of hey,
yeah,
you can build into the game.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, okay, first inning, no, I wouldn't be in the bullpen the whole game. No chance in hell.
I didn't know that was an option.
Oh, yeah. Closers don't go down to like the 6th inning. Somewhere around there. Go down the 6th inning, you get moving around.
Yeah.
Start getting loose in the 8th and close to the 9th. And
All right.
see you tomorrow.
All right. Now we know. Put that up.
It does have a little bit.
Have you ever closed before?
I have one save in my career, and it was my rookie year. We were in Miami, back in the old stadium. That stadium doesn't. Well, that stadium was a football stadium still, but they played. Yeah. If back in the day, Tony La Russa. Tony had me pegged as a closer in his mind. Yeah. And then next year he was. That was when he retired. The next year he was the coach at the All-Star game because the World Series teams from the year before, their coaching staff coached the All-Star game. Mm-hmm. So he was retired, but they let him coach, which was really cool. And the whole staff from the year before, half of them retired, half of them were on other teams, but they were there. So it was kind of cool to see everybody. And I was technically, I was obviously still young, but I was an All-Star as a starter. A starting pitcher, and he goes, "Guess I was wrong." And I go, "Well, I kind of looked into it." And I just, it's weird how
you like to prove people wrong.
Well, and it's like I think that he wasn't wrong in the sense of what I could do, but it's like he just at the time people didn't think that I could do it for 6-7 innings. He was, and then it was like that next
now
year.
You're an innings eater.
Became that.
You're a bulldog.
Became that over the years. And the course of that year was like, this is my first year as a full big leaguer too. So it was like at the end of the year, I was tired. I was worn out. And I was like, I've never thrown over 140 innings and all that. And I did all that year.
You really have to train yourself to do that for
it's a different
whole season.
Well, that and what I learned that year is
you work through pain.
You work through pain. You learn that you can't throw the ball as hard as you can every time. As a reliever, you can literally go in there for 15 to 20 pitches. Boom. I'm gonna let it eat, and then I'm out of here, and I'm gonna go recover. As a starter, you throw as hard as you can for 100 straight pitches. Something's gonna snap. So it's like over the course of life, you had to learn to
listen to your body.
Well, it's like, hey, I'm not gonna throw this one as hard as I can, and then I'm gonna throw this one a little harder, and then and then people are like, how do you do that? And I was like, well, that's called pitching instead of throwing. Yeah. So you change speeds by throwing harder with the same pitch and slower with the same pitch, and they don't know what pitch it is, but it's the same.
You're very scientific about it. I will say that. I learned that in Minnesota. When you went to Minnesota, you sat me down and you were like, I don't even remember how you Rain Man that, but you tried to explain it to me, and I was like, what?
Yeah, it makes no sense.
You're like, if you want him to hit it off of there, you got to throw it here. And I was like, I just thought you went up there and hurled it. And it was like, there's a method to the madness.
At times you do hurl it. It's like, hey, it's you versus me.
Does that work out for you?
There's sometimes it goes good, sometimes it goes bad. Sometimes others, and it's weird. It's just like, if you hit your spot when what you're trying to do, you've been fine, but you throw it here, that's their hot zone. They got you. So it's just a weird concept.
You're in a weird spot where there for a little bit you were seeing the same guys kind of over and over, and now this past
know any of these guys, they're so
last
young.
Couple of years, there's been a lot of young guys, and you're like, I don't know anything about those people.
Here's the problem with them too: is you can't set them up. Like when
they swing at everything, don't they?
It's fucking obnoxious. You're like,
they just
you have to in your brain, you're like, he shouldn't swing at this, and he does, and you're like, well, you have to treat them all the same.
So it's funny to see the generational differences between everybody.
And it's like,
and now you're on the older side.
I'm like the old crafty guy, and but it's like in your mind, you're like, there's no way he swings at this again. And he swung at it in the other batter's box again. And you're like, I guess I just don't have to throw him a strike. And then you're like, well, I got to get ahead. And then when you get ahead with a pitch he should not swing at, fucking whacks it off the wall, and you're like, what the fuck is going on? Oh my God. He just swung at 3 balls in the other batter's box, and I'm like, he's got to be like, hey, I'm not going to swing. No, I don't give a fuck. I'm swinging at anything close. And then they're like, they swing at a pitch they shouldn't swing at, and you're like, all right, give them zero credit. Got it.
Do you have a plan in your mind for this next season of how to combat that? Because I feel like you're very good at reinventing yourself. Like, you're very good at addressing the problem and then trying to like maneuver around it. So I don't think people give you enough credit for, really. Because over the last few years, I keep talking, sorry.
No, I think
you've got new pitches and all that stuff, and you've like really...
Yeah. I think that you look at the year I gave up all the home runs, right? That was when I was like...
I don't know what you're talking about.
Right. No, you told the whole world I sucked that year. No.
Shut up.
All joking aside, but like that was a year where like, if you looked at, it was crazy because if you looked at my strikeout numbers and this and that, like people were like, oh, and then they're like, well, why is he giving up so many home runs? Because I was just throwing, like I was adding new pitches and all that, and I was throwing them at the wrong time to the wrong people because it was like, when do you use them? How do you use them? Or they're like, hey, this works against this guy. But some guys I was throwing the new pitch that supposedly were good to him, but all I was doing was give him a chance to hit me where he couldn't hit what I was good at. Anyway, so I was like, I was doing stupid shit. Like it was like, and then like that whole year, what happened was by chasing some other pitches, I lost a little bit of what I was good at, which made me more hittable. And then when I was on that day, nobody could hit me because I had 5 pitches that were going all kinds of different directions. So it was like either I was going to strike out 10 or I was going to give up 3 home runs. Yeah. Like it was a couple games I struck out 12 and gave up 3 home runs. Like it was like, what in the hell is going on? So, and then that, I took that into this year and was able to kind of mix and match and figure out the spots to use certain things and then the spots to just use what I was good at, and then get the things that I've been good at my whole career that people were like, oh, he doesn't do anything, he just throws fastballs. But if you actually look at speeds and movements and all that, there are multiple different pitches and all that. So I was able to add on to what goes with those things by the things I was trying before. And then it made me realize, hey, I can make it do that, but it is pointless because it does not go with any of my other pitches and it has not helped me.
Do you want to talk about your philosophy on pitching with your nutsack?
The story about how that came about?
I mean, tell us all.
So I think was I playing in Chicago? I think I was playing in Chicago. It was when my original
I feel like this has been your whole philosophy, whole career.
Well, I said, so Tony told me when I was younger, when I first came up, Tony made you earn it. And I liked that because it was like, okay, like we're going to do
like
this.
A challenge.
Yeah. So I was able to, then still to this day, like he'll tell the story, but he goes, I like you. You pitch with your nuts and your guts. And I was like, all right. And I was like, that's how I was taught. Like it was, I'm leaving it all out here. So it was like over time and all that, you joke. It's just like the old saying is you put your balls on the line. Like if you're too scared to do it, then fucking beat it.
You're a really good judge of character in other people with that too. Cause you're like, he's talented, but like he doesn't pitch with his nuts. So he's not gonna
throw him on the table.
He's not gonna like go far. And you've been pretty right about it.
Yeah. And then there's guys that can be taught that. Like you can be taught that a little bit. And then
back to that edge, that Danny Johnson edge. You got to find it.
It's not being afraid to, it's like, hey, if I fail, I don't give a shit, but I'm going to do it with everything on the line type of thing. It's like, I'm not going to fail half-assing it. It's like, and because I always tell people a long time ago, if you look yourself in the mirror and know that you have more to give, then why in the fuck did you just waste everybody's time? Right. And I've talked to young kids who are like, oh, this. I'm like, well, what do you fucking regret? You regret not fucking leaving it out there? Don't fucking do it again.
Oh my God. Right? Look how aggressive he's getting. He loves it.
So
you got that dog in you?
So yeah, that's the simple, right? I remember I was going through the funniest one ever when I actually I finally got after somebody, and I love this guy to death. And
can you say it out loud?
I'm not going to say his name. I'm not going to say his name. And it was, we were in the middle of the season. I was dealing with my knee originally started barking. And I I was on the IL and somebody was active.
Lance is a bear on the IL anyways. Yeah. He hates to do it.
So I was getting myself ready to go, and I knew when I was coming back. But they were messing with the rotation a little bit and stuff like that. And they were like, well, we need to give this guy more days and more days. And there was a chance that I was going to be on the IL and pitch and then pitch again before someone active did it. And I go, I swear to God, I go, if I come off the IL and pitch before you, you're never going to fucking hear the end of it. Like, I either go on the IL or fucking pitch. And he goes, how are you going to do that? I go, with my fucking nutsack. And this is in the middle of the clubhouse and all that. And everyone just fucking lost it. Like, okay. Yeah. And then he slated in right before me when I came back. So he got himself back out there. But, you know, there comes a time, you know, everybody gets banged up. Everybody has the things and all that. It's either you can or you can't. And if you can, you throw your fucking nutsack out there and do it.
The pain is part of it.
It is. And then like sometimes
you're not supposed to be comfortable in a season like ever. You're never going to feel 100%. Like you have to learn
like first day of spring training and then you come home, you're like, fuck, my calves hurt. Well, it's like I should have put my spikes on and walked down into the fucking mailbox and stood there for fucking 5 hours till the mail came, because the only way I'm going to fucking get ready for spring training.
Oh my God. Yeah.
And then I'll get ready for my fucking sunburn too, because it's just going to slowly move across my face that day while I'm at the mailbox.
Let's talk about getting ready for spring training, because you have been working out and there's been so many articles about
just one,
your weight loss. No, there's been people take that one article and then they regurgitate it and
people don't even do their own work anymore and treat it ridiculous.
They really don't.
What would you like to talk about? That it's December. And we got
you're throwing, you're working out, you've lost upwards of 20 pounds. Yeah. How do you feel?
All true.
Limber?
I don't know about limber, but
great.
I feel pretty good.
Light as a feather?
I feel good.
That's good.
Yeah.
Feel young?
Tomorrow I'll have some sympathy pains for your leg.
Yeah, his right leg's going to be hurting tomorrow. Can't wait to hear about it.
No, I feel good. Like you said, like we've talked about it, just trying to get through it. The off season and figure. I know somebody just walked in. I don't know who's here. And we'll get it moving on. See what's out there. I think the main thing is I'm going to be ready to go for whoever wants me to pitch for him.
You're ready to do it.
I know. It's like I wanted everyone. I feel like when you get older, everyone's like, okay.
You're giving him more of an edge.
Does he still want to do it? You know, can he still do it? Type thing. And I think this is like the losing the weight. The article was for me, like he called and was like, you want to talk about it? And he knows Ken Rosenthal always does a good job. I've always respected him. He goes, you want to talk about it? And I was like, I don't. And he's like, I know, and I go, but I'm going to let the whole world know I'm not done.
Yeah.
And he goes, all right, let's talk about it. So, I appreciate him thinking about me, but I also I'm not done.
All right.
I still got some shit to do.
All right. I hear you. I have no choice in the matter but to
what do you do?
Go with you.
We'll make the best of it.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see
where, that's the crazy part right now. It's like, you don't really know who's
Last season was so easy for everybody. And oh my God.
Kids, school.
It was kind of poetic how it all happened, but.
Yes, it was. We've got some OBA, you never know what St. Louis has going on. We'll see.
We're still shooting our shot in St. Louis.
We can always hope.
All right.
But when it comes down to it, kids might have to, do some sightseeing in a new city.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
you're just going to walk in there. You're going to be jacked.
We're going to have to do a, obviously with more kids in school and all that, we're going to have to.
Yeah, I'm not going to see you. It's nice knowing you.
That's not
Have
true.
fun in spring training. I'll be here cleaning up puke.
Oh, man.
Saving people.
I hope they behave.
From animals and fires and tornadoes.
I hope they behave.
I do too. Oh my God.
The amount of backlash I get when they don't behave when I'm playing.
Oh yeah. I'm pretty ruthless.
Which is like, come on, kiss. Why'd you do that? And they're like, Dad,
I don't think
we're 5.
Okay, my turn to talk. I don't think that you understand or will ever understand the mental load of a mother. Okay? Because you will never really experience like the guilt that I experience for doing like literally nothing. Do you know what I mean?
Wow, like when I got you.
So like I'll take a day and I'll like,
you're like, hey,
you know, be busy doing things for everybody. And I'm like, oh my God, I haven't seen my kids all day. And I'm a terrible mother. And I haven't, you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel a lot of weight of a lot of things that you just literally don't think about. Don't even know to think about.
You don't even
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's like I'll go on a road trip and buy them stuffed animals and I'm the greatest fucking dad ever.
Exactly. And it's like...
You're like, nice stuffed animals, dick. You've been gone for 6 days.
Motherhood. I want to talk about this because I know there's a lot of moms listening. And so this is kind of why we're here anyways, to talk about this stuff, right? My introduction to motherhood was just so wild because I gave birth in Arizona. My family was not there. This is a brand new thing for me, right? Like, I've never been a mother, never given birth. My mother wasn't there. My grandma wasn't there. Any of those things. I'm in a weird place. And my anxiety was crazy because I am the sole person that's in charge of everything. Okay. If there's a burglar, if there's a fire, if there's anything, I am the one in charge, right? And so when you're gone on a road trip, like I would literally not sleep for 5 days that he was gone. And when he got back, he would come home and he would literally be like tipsy from the plane. And you would just be like hungry. So you'd go straight to the fridge. And I'm like, take this baby, please. I've been on the phone with my mom all week. I'm like, I'm so tired. I can't sleep. Oh God, Lance will be home for another 4 days. I should have gone home, which was a flight. So it was just like a lot all the time. And then there's a lot that happens like to your brain when you have a child too, because I don't think you anticipate like your own childhood coming up so much. I don't know if that's a thing for you that has happened, but like when
trailer park,
that's not what I mean. But like there are certain scenarios that you put yourself in when you see your childhood from the point of view of a parent. Like and then like there were some people that I was like angry with, and I was like, how could you do that to me? I have a kid. I would never do that to my kid. I know what that's like now. So that first year, psychologically for women, it is so incredibly hard. And I think just now in recent years, people are like, no wonder everyone has postpartum. Like,
makes sense.
Your nipples hurt. You're crying over your own damn childhood and your issues. You love your kid so much, but you also just want it to sleep so bad. You're so sleep deprived. And it was just a freaking journey for me. And I just now, I mean, that kid is about to be 6 years old. I'm just now trying like piecing those years together because I feel like it was a fever dream a little bit too. Yeah. And, you know, I was traveling with her everywhere. We were in Baltimore. We were in Tennessee. We were in Texas. We were like, I was taking that kid absolutely everywhere. And it's just wild to like think back on that time and just think of, it's crazy. They just give you a kid and they're like, good luck, figure it out, sister. You got it. We've been doing this for generations, so you'll be fine. And then I really was not mentally well at all in those first couple of years.
Well, it's like, yeah, well, then next thing you know, she's 1 and you're pregnant with Rimmer.
Yeah. So it was just, I've been a hormonal crazy person for the last 5 years.
Now they're going to be 6, 4, and 2.
My hair's just now growing back from the freaking first one and the last one. It was just a wild ride.
It's getting a little grayer, but other than that, it's
getting very gray. I don't know. That was like a weird tangent to go on, but now, you know, we're at a point where spring training's not going to look the same because, you know, my kids are in school, my kids learning how to read, and, you know, there's pressure put on me that you just can't relate to because your priority, which it has to be because obviously you fund our whole lives. So I have nothing to contribute. If I got a job right now, it would literally be to pay for the childcare that I would need to go to work. Like, it's so pointless for me to get a job. And I don't understand like the hate that women get for being stay-at-home moms, because 90% of the time that's financially the best thing for one's family. Mm-hmm. So to pretend like they are freeloaders and they're just like spending everybody's money, it's like, no, bitch. What am I not doing? Like, one might say I never stop working. I told a story earlier. I got both kids sleeping on me all night long. Like, my job as a mother literally never stops. Yeah. And so
childcare in itself is outrageous.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, if I got a job right now, I would never make more money than
you'd be spending
for starters, and I would be paying childcare so I could go to that job just to fund that. So it's like not financially smart for me to work. But I get a lot of flack because I'm a gold digging whore. I don't know. It's work. I'll say that. I work hard. So yeah, we're in interesting times moving forward because our kids are at an age where, but I do feel, again, I go back to feeling guilty of not being able to be there with you and as supportive as you want me to be. And
well, it's tough. I mean, just because like I'm in that point too, where school and all that you miss things too. So it's like on the grand scheme of things, our whole life is in a spot now where it's like the toughest it's been career-wise.
And another just weird thing I just want to throw out there is like, you don't experience any anxiety ever. Nothing makes you anxious or nervous or anything of the sort. But like my life is just a constant fear of the stupidest shit.
Yeah, like
intrusive thoughts. That's another thing that I feel a lot of moms can relate to. And I don't know if that's like a hormonal thing. I don't know if men or fathers experience intrusive thoughts to the level that women do. I don't know if that's like a defense mechanism. I don't really know what it is, but like the intrusive thoughts that I've had over the years about just insane things. Like, again, going back to me not sleeping in Texas when you were in road trips, it was because I was so certain that someone was going to rob me and they were going to come in and they were going to hurt me and they were going to take my baby. And like, that was something that kept me up at night.
Yeah.
And I was emotionally unwell and just terrified when you were gone all the time. Isn't that crazy?
No. I mean,
or
that makes sense.
When I had Lively and we lived in Arizona, we lived on that water and I kept thinking, I'm going to drop her in that water. Like, it's going to happen.
There's a fence. You can't even
I never was ever around it ever. But in my brain, I just kept thinking, I'm going to drop my baby in the water. And that was like a true fear of mine.
Well, I mean, that's
driving in a car alone. It was terrifying.
Of all of it. Yeah.
It was wild. And I noticed like after every kid I had, like they would kind of like simmer down once, you know, your baby's a toddler and all that stuff. But like when I had Judge, I was like, I'm back to square one. I don't want to drive with all of my kids in the car. Like, that's absolutely terrifying. And there was one time, and this could have been like sleep deprivation or whatever, but I had the snoo, which moves like this all night long. So it's like rocking your baby to sleep all night. And
not you.
No shit. Yeah, I mean, she started sleeping with us really soon after that. But you know how like things make noises, so it would be like shh, shh,
yeah, you can hear it.
Shh, shh. In my sleep deprivation in my brain, I would hear that thing say words.
Oh, jeez.
And in my mind, like, again, like no one understands the severity of like no sleep and how truly delusional that you get. But I was like, that snoo is saying subliminal messages to my child and I don't know what it is. Like, that's how, I don't think I've ever even told you how whacked out of my mind I really was. But I love the internet in this day and age because so many women are coming forward and they're being like, this is what I used to think. And it was like, oh my God, I'm not alone. So I love having this platform to be able to talk about these things because
I wouldn't say
I like it when people don't feel alone because I hate feeling alone. So I love getting the opportunity to talk about these things that are maybe taboo. I don't really know, because I know there's women out there that are like, I'm insane. I'm not going to yeet my baby off into an ocean that's nowhere near me, but I keep thinking about it every day. Like, that's a very real thing. So when I tell you, you don't know what's going on with me mentally while you're gone, like, you literally have no idea and will never experience the anxiety, the intrusive thoughts, or anything that I experience. So when you tell me that I'm hard on you when shit's going crazy, it's because
All the other
I
things that I
am
think
crazy. Okay.
Gotcha.
Because I'm trying so hard to be a good parent all the time and do the right thing. And there's a lot on my shoulders and a lot of fear and a lot that I'm responsible for while you're gone.
Yeah.
But listen, I could probably like bench press a Buick. Like, I am prepared for whatever because of these intrusive thoughts.
True. You got a game plan for everything.
I do.
That's what that means.
I do.
I think
Don't come for me and my babies.
I think men have some of that. They just will never outwardly tell you what you just said.
Well, let's normalize that, because why not?
I mean, you always have. I say when you're talking like, well, you have like men are in the opposite. They're like, hey, if this happens, I'm gonna fuck this guy up if somebody comes in.
Yeah.
Like, you're like, it's not like, oh, I'm worried that I'll get broken into. It's like, come on, get some.
Yeah. No, like the only time I get a peaceful
Similar.
night's sleep is when you're home. Yeah. When you're gone, I do not sleep.
Yeah, except for aliens last night. But
except for aliens last night. Yeah, that was.
But yeah, I think men are the same, but like there's a different thought process of, like, it's like, hey, I don't want to drop my baby in the water. I'm just gonna fucking stay away from the water. Easy, done.
Yeah. Well, I know that, but it really is like a psychological phenomenon.
Oh yeah, that's just.
I don't know if that's the right term for it, but like, it's intrusive because it doesn't feel like your thoughts. It's things that are popping into your brain that you know that you would never do, but it's like, why am I saying this? Like, why do I fear that? Like, that was never in my normal mind, in my not postpartum mind, that would not be a thought in my brain. But I don't know, but it's very, very common to experience that.
Yeah, 100%. All your fears of more like kids make you see fears and all that because you don't want things to happen and all that. So naturally the negatives pop in your mind. And it's like how for men, I think the negative thoughts
are a survival thing, probably.
Yeah. And you're like you're saying, you're like anxiety, like men are like, well, I'm going to do this if that happens now. It's like,
well, you guys have been trained since birth to be tough and to take care of things and to protect women, I guess. I don't know. Were you taught to protect women?
Yeah, you were like, your thought was protect everyone.
Everybody, like,
yeah. Like for me, I had little brothers and little sisters and all that stuff. Yeah, so it was like that's how you were taught. Like you protect your family and like protect, like it's, and if there's a situation or whatever, like those are situations you're scared of. So for you, it like created anxiety. But for
I don't think women feel it until they have like
a reason to feel it.
Well, the intense feelings that you feel about your child, you're like, I must protect this child at all costs. Like
it heightens all the other things that you kind of have pushed down.
Yes.
Yeah. For men, it's the same way, but it's like, it like makes you like find, I guess, have a more of a game plan of if these things happen, this is how I'm going to fucking do it. And it's like, go time.
Yeah.
It's not like, it's like, you're like literally creating a game plan in your head.
Yeah.
But we're never going to fucking talk about it. But we don't want other people to know our game plan. So, you know, they can counter it.
No, I mean, I got my game plans also. Like I feel like I'm prepared for a lot of things.
I think that you've turned to that over the years too, where it's like helped with.
Had to.
Yeah, you had to. And it's helped with your.
Yeah.
Being able to.
I remember being in the high rise in Chicago. We were on like the 72nd floor.
Two little ones.
There was a freaking, in my intrusive thoughts, I was like, I'm on the 72nd floor. I have 2 children.
I don't think it was 72 floors, by the way.
Yes, it was, Lance. We were in a huge.
43.
No, it was. I am very specific about the 72nd floor. It was a very high building in Chicago. But like, I was like, if there's a fire, I have to run down 72 flights of stairs with my 2 children and like a 2-year-old and a baby, and you can't use an elevator. And it was, what else happened? There was a tornado warning. And I was like, I'm in the middle of the sky.
There was a tornado in Chicago that year. That was crazy.
And you know what? He was like, so you still coming to the game?
And I was like, safer at the game.
I'm trying not to die right now. I was so mad at you. Oh my God. I think you were pitching too. And I was like, I don't give a shit.
I'd probably just come down.
It's like, I'm trying to figure out if there's a basement in this building.
The basement is the parking garage. Anything else? I would get in your car and come to the field.
It was just...
In my mind, it was like, hey, probably just come here. It's safer.
Well, in those high rises in Chicago, like you could feel the wind, like you could feel the building move. So it was just like a trippy situation. And again, I'm like, oh my God, the power's going to go out. I'm not going to have a thing. I'm going to have to run down with my babies. And it was just, it's freaking wild. Like,
and you were like,
in a lot of positions
we were high
well.
enough to where if there was like,
I could literally go to my DoorDash and show you this 72nd floor.
You were above the clouds, like you were in the clouds.
Yeah.
So like if it was raining and nasty, you're like, I can't even see the rest of the city. This is not good. So I get it.
It's pretty wild. So,
that being said, on to our next adventure. Let's see where we're going to go.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. It's going to be definitely interesting. Do you want to shoot your shot with some teams? Hi, Room.
Roomy's here.
You want to come say hi? You want to be on camera?
Come here, girlie.
You can come in here.
Hey, pretty thing.
We're almost done.
Yep. No, I don't. I'm going to see who offers what, and we'll make a decision. I don't
Come here.
really
You want to
know.
get on camera and say hi?
How was school, baby? You want everybody hi? Right there. Say hi.
Oh.
We still got our call. You say hi?
Hi.
Can you say, listen to Mommy's podcast?
Listen to Mommy's podcast.
Good job. So,
Good job, sister.
where you want Daddy to play this year?
You want Daddy to play baseball?
Yeah.
Yeah, where at? What do you think?
Roomy loves baseball games, don't you, Room?
Downstairs.
You want to play downstairs? Yeah, pitching tunnel. You want to go down there? We can go down there after this.
Are you talking about the kids' room downstairs at the games?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, she likes the kids' room.
Yeah, you like that.
At the game. You got
Do they
lots
give
of
you
friends down
snacks
there?
and stuff?
They do give you snacks. Do you eat pretzels and play games
Yeah.
and color? Do you like watching Daddy play baseball?
Yeah.
You do?
Why are you being nervous, huh?
This is kind of weird, huh? The cameras. Uh-huh. What you been doing? Good.
All right.
You gonna go back with Papa? We'll be done in just a second.
Well, Papa wants to sleep at the sleep.
Oh, he's rocking Judgy to sleep.
Oh, come here. You hang out with us while we finish up.
Yeah.
All right, you gotta be quiet. Okay.
You got anything you want to say?
Yeah.
What do you want to say?
Mommy. It's beautiful.
Mommy's beautiful. Is that
Yeah,
what
girl.
you said?
Good
You're
job.
so good to me. You're beautiful.
Has your watch worked all day at school? All right. See right here. We're going to finish up. When that's done, timing up, we'll be done.
I'll have time.
Timer. Start the timer.
Good job. All right. Yeah. Well, I guess this is a good time to wrap it up. I think we talked about a lot of really good things today. It was pretty.
We went from life to conspiracy theories to all of it.
All of our favorite things.
One showed up.
And one showed up. Our little angel baby. So, yeah. Well, tomorrow I've got surgery and
We're going to take a few weeks off through the holidays. Is that what we're doing?
I don't know.
Figure it out. See what that leg like
We'll
tomorrow.
see how my leg acts. See how Lance's leg acts. But, yeah, that's it for us. Thank you for watching and subscribe to our YouTube channel and our Spotify and on Apple. Follow me on Instagram. Lance doesn't have an Instagram yet. Maybe we should we poll the people if they want to see you on Instagram or not?
I ain't got to change my mind, Eddie.
I'll run it. So don't be sliding in the DMs, okay?
Say bye-bye.
But yeah, thanks for watching. We'll see you next Tuesday.
Say see you later.
You say bye?
I don't.
Bye. Good job, Room.
I do.
Oh my God.
Good timing.
That was good timing. I mean,